Hi, thanks for joining me. I'm Nicole Brewster. I'm the president of Renforth Resources. Renforth trades on the CSE under the symbol RFR, as well as in New York and Frankfurt. I am about to share some stuff with you just because I thought you might find it interesting. This is a new endeavor. Please give me feedback via email, good or bad, nicole@renforthresources.com. Please be advised this is not financial advice. I'm not licensed. This is not a solicitation to buy securities. You should always do your own due diligence. Ask someone, be it me or other financial advisors or advisors in general in your life, if you have any questions. So, what are we going to do? Well, this is just background color for anyone who might be interested. A press release requires materiality. However, there is stuff that in and of itself is not material that goes on. There are also things that I watch and read which might interest you. I don't know. So, Zoom, cheap and cheerful, quick, although this is one of several takes. Doing it at home because the internet's more stable. Hopefully, the dogs are quiet. A lot of variables. I appreciate you being with me. Now, nickel, we have our Victoria nickel deposit where we've declared an initial inferred resource over 2.5 kilometers within a 20-kilometer structure. It's all within an open pit that's no deeper than 300 meters. When I talk to people about nickel, they're kind of like, yeah, it's nickel. It's not very good. It's down, isn't it? Sure, it is. Indonesia is running out, though. They're capping their production. The Philippines is eliminating new open pit mines. North American nickel's much less carbon intensive. Um, and it's well located strategically. We'll come back to the strategic point, but first there's something else. Nickel is not just EVs. When I talk to people, they're like, but EVs aren't selling well. EVs are down, nickel's over, it's doomed. Let's not forget nickel also is used in the production of stainless steel. All these AI farms are going to require stainless steel. Zinc, which is also at Victoria, because Victoria is nickel, cobalt, platinum, palladium, as well as zinc, copper, silver, and gold. Zinc is a anti-corrosive layer put on top of stainless steel. So, but if you want to talk batteries, don't forget these batteries, and you might not be aware of them. I'm not aware of any location of these in Canada, mind you. That just means I'm not aware of it. However, BESS, it's grid backup. It's large-scale battery farms that store energy that's created. In the case of California and Texas, it's solar energy that's created. So we need to store energy. They create it during the day. They can discharge it at night when they can't create solar energy. They can also discharge it if they have blackouts or brownouts to support the grid. Better than having to rebuild the grid and expand the grid. It's just on-site support. This is where we're headed. I saw this article and wanted to share because it's a growing segment of the industry. Year over year, China's increased it by 27%, the number of installations. North America, which I think only means the United States, is up 21%. This is from Benchmark Minerals. They're a neat site. You can get commodity prices and such. You can also get a certain amount of research for free. They want you to subscribe. I don't. But if you want to read some of the stuff I read, um, that's where you can go as well. I also look at long-term nickel forecasts because Victoria is not going to go into production today. If it becomes a mine, it's going to be a mine in the future. I'll say when. That's a forward-looking statement, and there are assumptions under that statement. But I firmly believe it will be, and but it won't be today. It'll be in the future in a different nickel price environment. Now, I mentioned very briefly strategic North American source. I'm going to share something else with you. It seems I have to just switch the screen. Just bear with me for a minute. I'm going to share a different article. I'm going to London in a week or two, and it is for a conference. It's I believe I need to move this, but I believe you can see this. It's for a conference. Yep, you can see it. And it's another meetings. I was in Frankfurt. Interesting meetings, new service provider coming on board, people informed, engaged with questions. Wonderful to see. London, I'm expecting the same. I reach out to people and I ask for meetings. These are usually family offices, fund managers, private equity. That's kind of who I try to meet with. Um, but I saw that there were individuals from the Office of War that'll be attending this conference. And I neglected to tell you it's Thursday, November 20th today, because things I say will have a timeliness to them, right? So the Office of War is actually in the news today for a rare earth deal they've done in conjunction with Madan, the Saudis. But I reached out to the Office of War. It's a bit cheeky, right? Who am I? I've got this little tiny resource. It's only got 10,000 meters worth of drilling in it. It's got huge potential, but it's just a wee thing. But it's a wee thing that's only 12 hours by road from New York, 6 hours to Montreal, which puts you into a deep water port that can access the eastern seaboard. Well, it can access anything ocean-borne. Um, so I asked them for a meeting. I got a lovely note back saying that they're pretty busy with a lot of government to government meetings, but if they can find some time, they'd like to meet. I said, of course, I understand totally. Here's my email, here's my phone number, completely accessible. But personally, I'm thrilled we got that done because that means before they would have replied to me, they'd have gone to the website, they'd have seen Victoria. They're aware of Victoria now. That was the entire exercise. If I get the privilege of speaking to them for 15 minutes, so be it. But I think that's job done. Why would they care? Why would they answer me? Well, this document tells you. Now, I'll scroll real fast to the top because this is another actually quite interesting source if you want to do your own due diligence. Resources for the Future. That's the website. This is one of their publications. Resource Nationalism, Critical Mineral Supply Chains. Critical mineral supply chain is where we come into it. Hopefully, we don't see resource nationalism. Um, but here we go. In 2024, the US extracted roughly 2% of the world's lithium and 0.22% and 0.1% of nickel and cobalt, respectively. And there we are sitting just to the north with nickel and cobalt and several other metals. So I'll leave you to read this. Fascinating stuff. Keep moving because I could do this and prior takes got really long as I figured this out. I'm going to share some property stuff with you, which is maybe a little bit more interesting now. First thing I'm going to show you, if you get my newsletter, you saw that we were stripping. Up until a couple weeks ago, we were stripping at Parbec, our gold deposit contiguous to Canadian Malartic Mine. Winter set in and we had to stop. It was pretty wild. I was out there. I'm the little red dot in the middle of this. And there's the little wee excavator. It looks so tiny from above. He's moving all this dirt to expose this rock and rock here, more of it. But until about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, the mud was literally frozen rock hard. It would take a hammer to try and smash it off the rock. It was pretty wild. So we couldn't do much washing. We can't really see the rock, but what we can see starts about here and it continues over to here, and it's a shear zone. And it bends back into the Cadillac break, which is going to be running right along here, the edge of the Cadillac break, and not uncovered. So it was sheer luck, and this is a bad joke, that we uncovered the shear zone where we did. We feel we have uncovered the beginning of the diorite splay from as it interacts with the Cadillac break, or as Martin, who shot these pictures with his drone and put them back together for us, says the dilation in the hinge fold in Pontiac. So we'll see. We'll revisit this in the spring. We can't do any more work now for all it's not yet buried in snow. It's frozen rock hard. Now, along the way, we're doing this in order to better map sample, and it's a lead up. We're within the open pit footprint. We're on the south side of the Cadillac break. We're more than 50 meters away from the rail line. The idea is to find a location to blast, to take a bulk sample, then to process that bulk sample for recovery in terms of metallurgical testing. And Bob's your uncle, away we go. We are on the pathway to building a mine. However, if we can monetize Parbec before we build that mine, we will do so. And I've said no to some offers in conjunction with your board. So stay tuned. Now, I have to stop sharing this. I learned this in a prior take, and I have to switch pages because the next thing I want to show you is also in Acrobat. Different property though. We would sell Parbec we'd monetize Parbec somehow, be it as a mine or via sale in order to continue work on our Victoria deposit, which we've just declared, we just got these sections. These are cross sections through the deposit showing the open pit and the drill holes and the block model. So I don't know if you can see my cursor, but you can see this circular line. That's the outline of the open pit. We are at the very western end of the resource footprint. There is the road, which we worked from the road to the west for 2.5 kilometers. So as we move through, we see the block model come in, and then we see our drill holes. And you see the outline for the open pit changing. Now I'm just going to scroll through these quickly. We just got these. We're very happy to have them. We will use them like in the instance of that little blue. Oh, no, that's Shermo 23. We will use them to plan new drill holes, propose holes. But the other thing we see here, and it gets very obvious. You see all the mineralized solids, which are excluded from the resource because they're outside of the open pit, and the resource is contained in the open pit. As we get to the eastern end of the deposit, it becomes much more obvious. So we've got these, and behind the scenes, one of the things we're doing is see how much mineralization we've outlined that's not in the resource. We need more data, we need more holes, we need to drill. We will drill in the new year after we plan some holes. So that's one of the things we're doing in the background. So that's it. All I wanted to do was come on here, give you another way to get information. I'm not going to watch this. I hate watching myself. I hope you don't hate it. Give me some feedback. Um, Good, bad. Let me know. Have a wonderful day, and thank you very much for your time.